Good afternoon, and welcome to the Randal Jenkins Radio Hour. I'm Randal Jenkins. Thanks for watching. We're here today with our special guest, Eric Jenkins, notably from Keller Williams. We have Eric on because of his brevity and his style and his desire to say something intelligent. Eric, welcome. Sorry.
We'll just have to wait a while.
We try to
back
have fun.
to Randy.
We try to have fun here. So we were talking, we're realtors. We talk real estate. We welcome you to the show. We have a lot of content in which we love to talk about real estate. And one of the biggest things that's happening right now in real estate is the evolution of AI. Do you have any observation about that, Mr. Jenkins?
I like it. I have a very nice disclaimer about AI, a complete CYA, and I recommend we all have one of those.
Well, I've been doing a lot of research, and I've looked at a lot of the functionality, and it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like a throwback to what happened to the internet and various industries. A couple of the industries that are very notable are travel agencies. Remember when there was a travel agency in every town?
I do remember.
And now with Expedia and all those different travel sites, there is no local travel agencies.
Story. Do you remember the time that I went to your travel agency in Atlanta and I booked the tickets and you paid for them? Do you remember that?
I do remember. Remember spending the whole time on, I'm not seeing the YouTube.
In Oahu? Yeah,
it's up.
I remember.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we went to Hawaii. I knew he bought the tickets. And so I spent all my money to make up for the fact that he had bought the tickets. And then when I got back, I found out that the tickets were on my credit card. And that was a great
Very well
experience.
planned.
Yeah, I paid twice.
That's a true story.
That is a true story. Well, another industry that was affected deeply by the internet was commission stockbrokers.
Yeah.
They don't really exist anymore. And how could they exist when there's free online trading?
Right.
Oh my goodness, my YouTube is talking back to me.
You're talking back to you.
Yeah, it is. Let me fix this.
I'll do it.
Okay. So travel agencies used to control the access to airline schedules and bookings, but then the internet took that away.
Mm-hmm.
Stockbrokers used to control access to trades, but online platforms made execution almost free. Realtors used to have access to the listings, but the internet, especially platforms like Zillow, ended that monopoly years ago. And the question is, what is left for value for a realtor? Now, the agents who survive won't be door openers or MLS search providers. They'll be the professionals who create better outcomes. And what this means is pricing strategy that attracts multiple offers instead of chasing the market, marketing that creates demand instead of simply uploading photos, negotiation that protects tens of thousands of dollars, managing inspections and appraisals and financing and title issues and contract risk, advising clients through emotional high stakes decisions. One of my best testimonials was from a friend of mine who said, Randy had to talk me off the ledge several times.
I remember that one.
Yeah, you have to tell your client, breathe.
And you have so few of them, you remember them.
I don't know about that. Ironically, the more information consumers have, the more they need someone who can interpret it. So another thing that is in the news is these institutions that are buying houses and the competitions that they are creating against regular buyers. Now, the government had talked about outlawing that, and there was a law or a bill that was on the table that I think is actually going to go through, and that'll keep the big giants like American Homes for Rent and BlackRock from buying and competing with real buyers, retail buyers.
Humans.
So what about Zillow? Companies like Zillow are trying to own the consumer relationship. Their goal isn't actually to replace agents. Their goal is to become the gateway between consumers and agents. If they own the attention, they can sell the attention back to realtors through advertising and lead generation.
Absolutely.
Actually, what's happening now is Zillow's, I don't know if they've changed their model as much as they raised their prices. It used to be that you could get leads from Zillow at $30 or $40. And now they want a third of the commission. And they are kicking realtors off the platform and changing the model and turning the Zillow experience for realtors into a very expensive nightmare, really. So what's going to happen?
Change.
We're going to see possibly or likely that the bottom 50%, the low production agents, are going to leave. Technology and AI are making the tasks easier. It's hard to justify commission based solely on access or paperwork when you can get it done for, certainly access is free and paperwork is easy. And the bottom 50% of the realtors are going to face a big challenge if they can't find a way to distinguish themselves. The middle will be agents who primarily rely on purchased internet leads or referrals, and they're going to face huge competition as consumers, basically their expectations go up as the price goes up. Now, top producers will increasingly look like consultants, marketers, and negotiators rather than traditional salespeople. They'll leverage AI to automate routine work while spending more time on strategy and on client relationships. The biggest threat to realtors isn't AI or Zillow. The biggest threat to realtors is being indistinguishable. If you get 10 realtors, how do you pick one? How do you pick a realtor? I know how you stand out, Eric. It's your testimonials.
Well, that's how your clients speak what they feel.
If your value proposition is, I'll list your home in the MLS and I'll put it on Zillow, then technology has already replaced you. If your value proposition is, I know how to position your home to get more visibility, generate stronger demand, and sell for more money, that's much harder to automate. And that's why education matters so much. Consumers don't hire expertise they can't see. The agents who consistently explain why they do what they do through listing consultations, videos, social content, client conversation will be the ones who continue to thrive, even as the total number of agents decline. So I asked AI, what am I missing? And it came back and said, you're right to ask that macro question, but there are several second order questions that are arguably even more important. If the information is free, what became scarce? And this is a question that, think about it. Listings are free. Home valuations are free. School ratings are free. Mortgage calculators are free. Now, what's scarce? Trust, judgment, attention, negotiating skill, marketing strategy, local knowledge, execution. Every successful professional eventually gets paid for judgment, not for information. So what part of the transaction can't be automated? Now, AI can write descriptions. They can generate comparable market analysis. I wanted to say CMA so badly. They can answer common questions. They can schedule showings. They can fill out forms. They can summarize inspections. But what it can't do is read the emotions in a negotiation. They can't convince a hesitant seller to price realistically. They don't build confidence during a multiple offer situation. They don't tell a buyer to walk away when that's the right thing to do. The highest value work is almost always human. So what is the consumer actually paying for? And that's the question every agent should ask. They don't pay six figures in commission because someone unlocked a door. They pay because they believe you'll help them make more money, lose less, reduce risk, save time, and avoid expensive mistakes. If you can't explain that clearly, technology will make it harder to compete. And if commissions become more competitive, what is your advantage? What is your unique selling proposition? It can't be great service. It can't be, oh, I really care about my customers, and I've done this a long time, and I really want to earn your business. Everybody says that. Now, your advantage might be a better pricing strategy, better listing positioning, better MLS optimization, better marketing, better negotiation, faster execution, better communication. It needs to be specific enough for a client that you can repeat it to other clients. So if Zillow disappeared tomorrow, would your business survive?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it would. If the answer is no, then Zillow owns your business, and more than you do. The strongest agents own their audience, their reputation, their referrals, their email list, their past clients, their branding. And that's something that Zillow can't take away. So there's so many directions that we can go in this conversation. And I don't want to sit here and just spew out what AI said. So in our business and in your business specifically, Eric,
yes,
you gain people's confidence, certainly from your testimonials. And there's nobody has more testimonials than Eric Jenkins. And now with your better ability to communicate through emails, your emails are just fantastic.
Thank you.
It really illustrates how much you've evolved in this industry. So for me, I take a little different tact than Eric does. I have a very good and loyal following. I mean, I'm virtually guaranteed 2 or 3 or 4 listings every month from my existing sphere of influence. But because I have a marketing group of realtors from different companies that are not as established as we are, Eric, I have made a mission to help these agents. And my goal is to see how can I create success with a brand new agent. Can you imagine being a brand new agent in this market, Eric?
I heard a guy in the last 3 days talk about, if you're brand new, you would tell a client that I can devote 100% of my effort to your home because you're my only client.
That's a great point.
The truth.
For brand new agents, you're an agent. You are not the broker. You are not going to be the broker of record. If you're a brand new agent, you should be selling your broker. We were very fortunate at the beginning of our careers to have a great manager,
Greg Armstrong.
Greg Armstrong. I used to sell Greg. I used to tell people, I'll be the agent, but the truth is that the broker is Greg Armstrong. And then I had 3 stories. I don't want to promote Greg on this call. If you're listening, Greg, you the man.
You are the man.
But we're not going to talk about all the
He's
great
helped
things.
Over probably 300 or 400 realtors.
More.
Probably more.
Yeah, no, Greg's the man.
I mean, I know that he's helped hundreds.
But yeah, if you're a brand new agent, you actually kind of have an advantage in some respects because you don't have all that baggage that the older agents carry around. All the old leads that aren't ready, that they're, going after the same old leads that aren't ready.
Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross leads. When are you going to get the good leads?
Yeah. So if I were a brand new agent, and I do train agents, what I would tell them is that you need to distinguish yourself. And how can you do that? There was a time when realtors competed for attention by knocking on doors. They mailed postcards. They cold called neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. They hosted open houses. They dropped off pumpkins in October. Mm-hmm. I never did that. Calendars in December. How many calendars did you send out?
5 years worth. 3 years.
Do you do it anymore?
No.
Recipe cards throughout the year. Entire coaching systems were built around touches. The assumption was simple. The more people you contacted, the more business you generated. For decades, that worked. Well, today it doesn't. Consumers no longer wait for realtors to introduce themselves. They discover them long before making contact. They watch videos, they read Facebook posts, they browse internet reels, they search Google, they ask AI, they watch neighborhood tours on YouTube, they read reviews, they compare agents online. By the time someone reaches out to you, they've often spent weeks or months silently evaluating you. You're being interviewed before the interview. The modern realtor isn't competing for appointments, they're competing for attention. And this attention economy has changed everything. Every industry has experienced this shift. Restaurants don't just rely on roadside signs, they post photos every day. By the way, have you seen that new deli in Newport Richie?
No. Is it on 19?
Am I going off topic? Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's
Can we
called
have a copy
Rye.
of this show?
What's that?
Can we have a copy?
Not in the middle of it. You have to wait for the show to end.
Oh, okay.
All right. This
Plant a
is
seed.
going to show this is live.
Planting the seed.
Okay. So they post pictures every day. Financial advisors publish market updates. Attorneys explain legal issues on social media. Doctors create educational videos. Home inspectors post inspection horror stories. Mortgage professionals explain interest rates every week. Consumers reward the people who consistently teach them something. And real estate is no different. People don't remember advertisement. They remember explanation. The realtor who regularly answers questions become the realtor consumers already trust. So where am I going with this? The realtor, if you were a brand new realtor, I'd say, great. You have an opportunity to prepare your business model, not as the old realtor model, but more like as a media company, a local media company. And that's how I would portray myself, and that's how I would present myself. You've got to be creating content. And many older agents, when they hear the word content, they immediately think, I don't want to become an influencer. Good, because that's not the goal. You aren't going to be famous. You're trying to be familiar. There's a huge difference. The best realtors actually aren't entertainers, they're interpreters. They bring out lessons from transactions and lessons from inspections and appraisal stories and lessons. You want to tell a story?
No, I don't have one.
You don't have one? Okay. Every financing issue reveals a common misconception. Every insurance problem helps buyers understand risk. Every contract negotiation contains an educational moment. You're already seeing these stories every week. But if you're a realtor and you're brand new, well, you can simply start publishing them. You have to almost think like a local radio station or TV station or a news station, really, a local news station. You can talk about road construction and new developments and school changes and weather and city council decisions. You could be a news organization in effect by creating content. And it's not going to be content like, well, I'm a realtor and I really want to earn your business and I really care about my customers and I've got a lot of negotiation experience and I've got 30 years in the market. Okay, you need to be kind of a person who explains what's happening in your local housing market, not predicting, not sensationalizing, just explaining. Instead of saying inventory increase, explain exactly what happened and what that means for buyers. Instead of saying interest rates moved, explain how the changes in interest rate affect monthly payments. Instead of saying prices are going down, explain why certain neighborhoods remain competitive. Consumers don't need more headlines. They need more interpretation. They need more translators. So as a realtor goes, there's 5 roles that a local media realtor can take. They can be a market interpreter. They can be a neighborhood reporter. They can be a transaction explainer. They can be a risk translator. They can be a trusted advisor. And then you go from the old model, which was really prospecting, getting an appointment, making a presentation, and becoming a client, to the new model, which is very different. Attention. Are you taking notes?
No.
You're supposed to be contributing. He's over here taking notes.
I'm taking notes.
Attention, familiarity, authority, trust, conversation. Trust is built before the first phone call. That's why inbound leads often close faster. The prospect already knows you because they've watched you on your media channel.
Mhm.
They understand your philosophy. They already believe that you're competent. You've answered dozens of questions before you ever met them.
Mhm.
And then if you get really deep into it, and I'm not sure if we should go that
We
deep.
should. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Every closing is a publishing opportunity. Every transaction you do. Most realtors finish a transaction and immediately move on to the next one. But authority builders pause and they ask, what did this deal teach me? Maybe the appraisal came in low. That's a post. Maybe the insurance almost killed the deal. That's a video. Maybe financing changed 3 times. That's educational content. Maybe the buyer misunderstood closing costs. That's another article. And that's one of the biggest things. I'm a mortgage broker as well as a realtor. And if you read my book, you're going to see in there, I talk about the question nobody asks. Realtors are so quick to get a phone call and hear that a buyer has a pre-approval that they don't ask, did you get a loan estimate? And sometimes, and we all have stories where the customer, the buyer got crushed at closing, not realizing what the amount was charged for the closing costs.
From the lender.
Correct. And that's another article. The transaction pipeline also is your content pipeline. Every week you're collecting new case studies. Most agents just let them disappear. Now, AI won't replace the local expert. Consumers can ask AI, how does a home inspection work? And AI will answer, but AI cannot say, we've seen 3 insurance companies decline homes in this neighborhood because of this, or because of the age of the roof. AI can't describe the mood inside a tense negotiation. Although I will tell you, there's great stories about realtors who have been in the middle of the night with a challenging disaster, and they asked AI, and AI came up with a great solution. AI can't explain why one subdivision sells faster than another one. AI can't attend inspections. AI can't calm nervous buyers. It doesn't negotiate repair credits. Local experience remains your competitive advantage. Publish it. Now, your feed, your real estate feed, and I invite you to follow my feed. I use Facebook because I'm old. It does populate into Instagram, but I'm told, or actually I'm telling you, that you have to be on all of them. You got to be on the TikTok and the, what are those other ones that I don't do?
AOL.
Yahoo Real Estate.
Shaloma.
So how do you broadcast to your audience?
Your feed.
Your feed becomes your presentation. And what happens, and I teach this to my marketing group partners, that when you get a lead, someone called you, there's several things you should do on that first call. And one of them is to mention, I have a real estate feed. I publish valuable information, interest rates, and interpretations of what's going on in the market. And I invite you to follow my feed. The other thing that you should do if you get a lead is you should send them somewhere. Hey, are you sitting in front of a computer? Jump on 409home.com. That's where one of my websites is, and you can click on my current listings. Let's face it, when you tell them how great you are, they don't know because you said it. But if you send them somewhere on the internet and they pull you up and they see all of these listings and all of this content, and they go, wow, you're the real deal. I'm lucky I found you. And they'll make their own judgment based on what they can see from the internet. Years ago, consumers judged realtors by their office location. They judged them by their website, but now they judge them by their digital footprint. If someone visits your social media and finds 3 holiday graphics, 4 motivational quotes, a picture of lunch, and a just listed post, they still don't know whether you know what you're doing. But imagine instead if they found a weekly market explanations and neighborhood updates and contract tips and inspection lessons and buyer mistakes and seller strategies and insurance insights and mortgage updates and closing stories. Now they understand your value before they ever call. Your feed isn't just marketing, it's evidence. What you need to do is become the local housing channel. You think bigger than just selling homes. And that's the way I look at it. Because I'm fortunate, my business is fairly well established. I can see where my next 60 or 70 listings are going to come from. I get calls routinely from people who they found me. I mean, not that my presence is all that great. Most of what I'm offering now is truly over the last 6 or 8 months that I've been doing this. It hasn't been because I've been doing this forever. Just by, what is the thing? Just don't quit. 26 years in real estate and a very good ongoing inventory of product has allowed me to be able to generate business without having to be the local housing channel. But that's changed. Actually, the last 5 or 6 weeks, it's been a little slowish because I had a hip replacement and had a little bit of a brain fog from the painkillers. And I've got to stop using that as an excuse soon and start posting more. But imagine becoming the television station for your local real estate market, not with expensive cameras, not with fancy production, but with consistent education. People don't need Hollywood, they need clarity. Publish one useful explanation every week, then another, then another. And over time, your library becomes an asset that works for you while you sleep. One video answers hundreds of future questions. One article builds trust with people you've never met. One neighborhood report teaches people about relocating 6 months from now. Authority compounds. And to that end, YouTube is a search engine, whereas Facebook is an opportunity to broadcast to your audience. YouTube Shorts, and I never really knew this, but I accidentally made a short. It was a video I made of some cracks in the driveway for somebody who wanted to buy this house and had these cracks, and they were out of town. They said, "Can you look at these cracks?" And I went in there and I made a 45-second video of these cracks, and I put it on YouTube, and it ended up being a short. And I was like, "Where is my video? It's not there." And it was in a different spot. It was under shorts. It ended up being one of my top rated videos of all time, with just me saying, "Wow, look at these cracks. They don't look that bad." Anyway, we can continue talking about content. It's just, when you really get down to it, there's an amazing amount of things that you can talk about. And the question really becomes is, who are you broadcasting to? Now, there's a discussion where there's an example of a discussion where somebody did something and they went viral and they had 20,000 hits on a video. And the question you have to ask yourself, was that good? I mean, in a world with 1 billion people online, 20,000 people somehow got your video. But what are the chances they're in your local market? And what are the chances they're in the market? And what are the chances that they're ready to buy or sell today? Low, right? It's a terrible thought. I went viral because the algorithm somehow picked up your content. But a better thought, I submit to you, is what I call the intentional audience. It's the 25 people you talked to last month, and the 50 people you talked to in the last 3 months, and the 3 people you talked to today, and the 5 people you talked to yesterday. If you handle it correctly as a new agent, you can invite them to follow your content. And then if you add some of the little twists that I teach my marketing group partners, you can really compound the effect that you have on, I'm going to call it your audience. But truly, if you have listings, you're going to get phone calls. And each one of those phone calls is an opportunity to create a relationship. And if you handle the call correctly and invite them to follow your content, then you can add them to your sphere of influence.
Fantastic.
You're talking and talking. Let me take a breath of air.
Hey, that was good. I love it.
Okay, we're going to talk about the intentional audience again. So Eric and I are blessed with, we both have over 20 listings. And at one point, you actually have more like 30 listings, but 10 of them are pending. Is that right?
Now my high ever is 23, and I have 7 pending right now.
So you have 30 listings right now?
No. I have 23 listings.
7 of them are pending.
I have 2 that I'm the buyer's agent where it's pending, and I have 5 that are my listings that are pending.
Okay. I had at my high was 30, 33 or 34 listings, and
12 or 13.
And then at one point I had 11 pending, and then 2 sold, and I went back to 11, and that was all this year.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. The first 3 months of the year were pretty crazy. But all of those listings created traffic, and that traffic could have been capitalized upon by providing those callers with an avenue in which they can become part of your audience. We all have stories where we got the greatest call. I think I talked about this on a previous one. I haven't gotten over it yet. But 2 years ago, we're in San Francisco, and this doctor called. He had a big appetite. Spent an hour on the phone with him. My people were waiting to go to dinner, and I was, it was the greatest call of my life. Long story short, I've never spoken to him again.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I dream about it. But the point is that I trained that guy to realize that talking to me, imagine when I called him later, he said, "Oh, there's that Randal Jenkins guy. Took me an hour to get off the phone with him the other day. I don't have time for him."
Ghost.
I trained him that talking to me was expensive. And instead of handling the call in the way that I teach now, and by the way, a lot of this content is all in the last year. And frankly, what happened is that I opened up this marketing group, and what I found is that my marketing group partners were challenged by this current environment where people don't take your phone call and they don't open your emails. They call you once, you have this terrific call, and then when you call them back, they never take your call again. And it's not because they found another realtor. It's because they don't want to talk.
Did.
Maybe they did, but they don't want to talk to you until they want to talk to you. So what you have to do is you have to be available when they're ready. And in the meantime, how do you get them into your content universe? How do you do it? And the answer is you invite them. Eric.
Yes.
I put out quite a bit of real estate content. I'd like to invite you to follow my feed.
No, thank you.
Okay, great. Have a nice day.
Okay, bye-bye.
And let's say that Eric called me and was wanting, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage, pool homes in Clearwater. So we have a conversation. I invite him to follow my feed. And then I say, "Do you have any real estate questions?" "Great. It was good talking to you. Have a great day." Now I'm getting off the phone, trying not to have that 45-minute call that will train them to never take another one of my calls. And tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video of 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage pool homes in Clearwater. I'm going to make a 5-minute video. I'm not going to say this is for Eric. I'm going to say, "Good evening. Tonight we're going to talk about 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage pool homes in Clearwater. Let's talk about these homes. Right now there's 27 of them available. There's 16 pending. The average price per square foot was this." And I'm going to make a video for this Eric guy who called me yesterday. And tomorrow when I call him back, whether he takes my call or not, or whether I leave a message, I'm going to say, "Hey, Eric, we talked yesterday about real estate. I just wanted to follow up and let you know I made a video on 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage pool homes. I posted it on my real estate feed. I'm sending you a link. Watch the video, subscribe to my content. If you have any real estate questions, reach out." And now you're no longer just a guy or girl that got spoken to. You're now somebody who created content, who put it on their feed. And that's what people say. "Well, I don't know what to talk about. What do I post?" If you got 3 leads today on 3 different subjects, you should be making 3 videos tonight and putting it on your feed and then calling those 3 people back and telling them, I made some content for you. And you will make an impression. I mean, how do you make an impression? They, on TikTok and some of those other things, you have to like fall on your face, or you have to have your skirt get blown up or something, right?
Doesn't hurt.
I don't look good in skirts. All right, let's move on. We've got some time left. Let's talk about, why didn't your family member choose you and instead they chose another realtor?
They didn't want to be the guinea pig.
And
they wanted to have someone they could lean on and have comfort that would be there when they have a void in knowledge.
Good. Well, let me tell you why your family member chose another realtor. They know you, and some of them don't like you. And they don't trust you, especially if you're new. They don't want you to get your education on the mistakes you're going to make as a new agent.
Absolutely.
And they may not want you to know your business or their business.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do? Well, my suggestion is to read my book, Realtoring in the Time of Ghosting. And my recommendation, and I can do this in 1 hour, I can create a real estate feed in 1 hour that will have 50 or 60 pieces of content. Now, if you're brand new, you may not realize it, but you're actually in the people collecting business. You're in the list development business. You're in sales, and you need to have an audience, and you need to have a lot of people that are following you in your endeavors. So what you're going to do, what's this face you're giving me?
That's all I got.
It's all you got?
That's all I got.
He gave me a face like he was either impressed or disgusted. It's hard to.
No, both.
Okay. So you come to me and say, I'm a brand new realtor. What do I do? And I'm going to say, what do you want to post? Where are you? What's your platform? I know Facebook. I'm older. If you want to use one of these other platforms, I'm okay with it. But what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you put out 10, 15, not in a row, just listeds. I'm going to have you putting out content from Realtor.com. I'm going to have you putting contact out from the NAR. I'm going to have you putting out content about, like I posted about those 2 guys that got struck by lightning yesterday. I mean, that's pretty valuable content. I actually went outside yesterday and ran back inside because I saw lightning in the middle of the day.
Where did they get hit? What city?
It was in Dade City.
Oh, wow.
But that's local content. So even your family members, they start seeing you posting just solds, even though they're not yours, and just listed. FloridaRealtors.org has content. I go on AI and I ask it questions, and then I post it. I have marketing partners that help me with postings. I have, I'm looking for examples, just listed, pendings, just solds, even if they're not yours. I posted about the berry flag tart on 4th of July so that people can see not a menu, but a recipe. The point is that I can create for you, just by telling you what to do, 50 or 60 posts that will give the appearance of an active, dynamic realtor that's making things happen. And when you speak with somebody, you can invite them to your feed. And when they look at that feed, what are the chances they're going to see that all those postings were made in the last hour? Maybe they'll notice it, but what's more important and what's likely is that they're not going to click on any of your content, but they're going to see you going by on their feed. And that's the value of the audience. Not the audience that clicks on your content, but the value of having them see you go by on their feed. There's old Randy Jenkins talking about interest rates. Oh, there's Randy Jenkins bragging about his book. There's Randy Jenkins talking about his radio show. There's Randy Jenkins talking about down payment assistance. There's Randy Jenkins, he did another listing. There's Randy Jenkins talking about credit repair. These are actual listings. I mean, not listings, but postings that I'm looking at my feed to remind me so I don't have to try to do this from memory. Here's a post about thermostats. Don't get me started about thermostats. No, so many people don't understand how they work. Anyway, don't get me started on thermostats. One of the things I do with my marketing group is I have the ability to market other people's listings, not just my own. And I have postings of solds and pendings. They're not my listings. Heck, I post Eric's listings.
I've seen that lately.
Have you seen my listings on
that Clearwater one you did?
I live in that condo and I got permission I asked everybody who has a unit. I always get permission to market the ones in my building. Mm-hmm. And somebody gave me permission and I posted it. And, like 3 months later, I looked it up and saw, oh my God, it's sold. So I put just sold. It wasn't my listing. So we've got a little bit more time. So let's move along into more valuable content. If you're a realtor and you're looking to build your business, you have to ask yourself one question.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
What do you do that's different or better than other realtors? And what I do is when I'm teaching, I tell everybody, take out a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On the left side, put buyers. On the right side, put sellers. And now tell me what you do for buyers and what do you do for sellers that make you special. And what I would tell you to do is to keep this running list until you retire. Every single time you notice that you do something different, put it on your list and put that as part of your elevator speech. Now, mine is so long that I cannot make an elevator speech about this. But what I can do is I can say, let's role play Eric.
Yes, hi.
I understand you thinking about listing your house.
Yes.
What I would do if you're interviewing agents is I would ask them, what do you do different or better than other realtors?
Well, how about you, Randy? What do you do different?
Well, it's going to take me a minute, but if you don't mind, I'd like to go down my list.
Sure.
I pay for a premium spot on Realtor.com. I have 7.5 million hits on Homes.com, and I pay every month for retargeting ads on my listing to go out to people who have clicked on them. I do a 3D Matterport listing on all of my listings. 3D Matterport tour. I use QR codes on my signs. I use One House websites every single day. I put 2 videos with Mozart on all of my listings, even the vacant land. I am a MLS keyword expert. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Okay. I use a lighted sign.
Oh, nice.
I formed a marketing group of realtors from different companies who market my listings.
Oh, cool.
I use an info tube with paperwork so that anyone driving by can grab it. I do a neighborhood mailer for my premium listings because a lot of people, they don't care about that. They just want a deal. But I have a silver, gold, and platinum set of listings. If you want the platinum, you're going to get a lot more than if you want the generic listing.
How much more is that one?
It's negotiated. All commissions are negotiated.
Nice.
It just depends on the price of the house and your motivation.
Thank you.
I'm also an expert on contingent offers. Now, I can spend a lot of time talking about why contingent offers are great. I'm also an expert on price-stitution. Are you familiar with that term?
Oh, my whole life I live with that.
I put information on my listing that nobody else does, or not very many people do, except for my students, and that is my ability to disclose other offers. A lot of realtors will not disclose offers because they think it's a form of loyalty and confidentiality. But I can spend a long time talking about why disclosing other offers generate higher offers. I'm willing to forego transitioning to a transaction agent. I will never put buyer to verify on my listings. I can work with you on a pre-listing inspection, And it goes on, contract review. It's a lot. But ultimately, as a potential listing, you're going to interview a bunch of agents. And I'd love to be the last agent. And then if you want to overprice it, I'd like to be the second agent.
Okay. That's good.
So take out a piece of paper. On one side, write buyers. On the other side, write sellers. And from now until the day you retire, update it over and over and make it your elevator speech. Live it. This is what makes you special. All right, we're going to talk about mindset. Now, I had Bill Yingling on, and he really educated me. I had always been a, positive mental attitude kind of guy, and, you become what you think about most. And the proper mindset for a realtor is less about sales and more about becoming a trusted advisor, an educator, and a problem solver. And the highest producing agents share that mental framework. You have to think like a consultant and not like a salesperson. I've got a bunch of examples. I'm going to skip that. Today's buyers and sellers have access to the information. What they lack is the interpretation. And the realtor's job is to explain the financing, the inspections, the insurance, the flood zones, the title, to talk about negotiations, market statistics, contracts, repairs, taxes. The realtor who teaches becomes the obvious choice. Mm-hmm. And you have to think long term. Many agents are chasing the next commission while professionals are building relationships. You have to ask yourself, how do I create a client who sends me referrals for the next 20 years? Mm-hmm. One satisfied client produces repeat business. Their children buy, the parents buy, friends, coworkers, neighbors. The lifetime value of a client is often greater than a single commission.
Totally.
So you have to become the local expert. You don't just know homes, you know neighborhoods and schools and insurance and flood maps and zoning and builders and restaurants and parks and development and commute times. Knowledge creates confidence. And by the way, there's a great quote for new agents. God, I wish I had it ready. Basically, what new agents can provide is confidence, a desire to serve, and an attitude of helpfulness. Whereas a lot of established agents, certainly the older agents, come from a sales mentality, and they're not coming from a consulting mentality. So I don't want to say this is a summary, but the realtor of the future doesn't just advertise listings. They publish content. They do videos, they do podcasts, they do newsletters, they write blog posts, they do neighborhood tours, they do market reports, they create buyer guides and sellers guides. And the idea is when they call you, they say, I already know you. And that shortens the sales process dramatically. Mm-hmm. You have to be present every day. Marketing is not an event, it's a habit. So you got to create content, you have to follow up, you have to learn something. And by the way, that's one of my favorite things is when I learn something. I'm always there and ready to expand my knowledge base.
Excellent.
Take a breath. My sister listened to one of these YouTubes. She's really smart. And she said, stop reading and just interact, talk, have an interaction. But Eric is so succinct. It's hard to have an interaction.
You're doing great.
He's over here taking notes. He's not helping.
I'm a helpful man.
All right. So let's measure success. It's not just income. It's referrals received. It's reviews earned. It's problem solved. It's families helped. It's knowledge gains. It's reputation built. A realtor with an excellent reputation can sustain a business throughout changing markets. The mindset for realtors is better to say, I'm not in the business of selling houses. I am in the business of solving real estate problems, educating consumers, building trust, and creating lifelong relationships. Every conversation is an opportunity to serve. Every client deserves honesty, expertise, and clear communication. My reputation is my greatest asset, and I build it one interaction at a time. The future is now. And the future isn't being a salesperson. It's being a trusted local source of real estate knowledge. It's about building consistently and educating the community throughout conversations, classes, videos, and articles and media. And to that end, let me tell you, I wrote a book. And actually, I'm pretty proud of it. Of course, I'm on volume 4, and I rewrote 2 chapters today. Eric's showing the book. Here's the book. Am I still on this other? We've got 4 videos going.
The Bible.
It's, well, that one ended at 50 minutes, or maybe it's still going. Here, I'm showing the book. Can you see it?
Upside down.
Anyway, part of my desire to be a media company is I got a radio show. And from my radio show, I'm taking, and I say I'm doing this, but I'm not doing this. I am trying to learn how to download YouTube videos so I can take them and turn them into shorts. Evidently, some of the stuff we do in here has real brilliance.
Huh.
And if we can we can use AI to go into our video transcripts, find the greatest, brilliant 1-minute episodes and create content so that we can turn it into shorts. And see, shorts are great because if you publish shorts on YouTube, you end up with, YouTube's a search engine. So you want to do shorts on YouTube. Facebook is different. Facebook is for broadcasting to your existing audience. So we have 2 minutes left.
Thanks for watching, Mom.
Is anyone watching on YouTube? I don't know. Let me look.
Hello.
We have
Is there anybody
2 people
out
watching.
there?
I know I'm one of them.
And I'm one.
Are you online too? So nobody's watching this live. But that doesn't mean people aren't driving by in their car and they're going scan. And it's like, this is how I found the radio station.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to it. Within 2 hours, I was in here signing up. Well, I'm Randy Jenkins. You can find me on Facebook at Randal Jenkins, Florida Real Estate Partners. You can find me on YouTube at Randal Jenkins Real Estate. You can find me not on TikTok, but someday.
Coming. TikTok's
coming. I have a bunch of real websites, 409home.com and Florida Real Estate Family. And if you're interested in talking about real estate, if you're a manager, a broker, and you have an office full of realtors and you need help, I'm certainly doing education right now, but I can also do coaching and sales management. Sales management, I kind of like sales management, but the realtors I sales manage, they don't like it as much. But if you want to build your business and you need a coach who's more than just a coach, but is also going to help you have accountability, then what you really need is a sales manager. And I would love the opportunity to speak to any groups. If you have any groups, if you have an organization with 20 or 30 people and you'd like to have them get involved with down payment assistance and home ownership, then I'm here to help. Love to get in front of audiences. If you're a civic group or if you're a teacher and you want me to come and speak to your class, I'd be happy to do it. Hey, I'm Randy Jenkins. It looks like we're winding down. Thank you to Mike, my engineer. Thank you to Eric, my partner, and Nancy handling a whole bunch of other cameras. We are out of here. Woo-hoo! Have a great day. Bye now.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
Another round. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. U.S. Central Command confirming a second round of strikes on targets in Iran.
This is something that President Trump said earlier here at a NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey, that would probably happen in response to Iran targeting those 3 commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump saying earlier today the ceasefire with Iran is over, but he does not see the war restarting.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in Ankara, Turkey. CENTCOM posting on X, the United States is holding Iran accountable for recent unjustified aggression against commercial shipping and civilian crews freely navigating a vital international waterway. President Trump on his way back to Washington after the NATO summit in Turkey, where he met with the leader of Ukraine to discuss